Alan here, and I have a question for you. As we approach spring of 2025, is this a good time to buy a truck or an SUV to pull an RV trailer, a travel trailer, or a fifth wheel? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. I'm recording this in the morning of February 13, middle of February, and I'm thinking about spring of 2025. By the way, this is Alan from RVAcrossAmerica.net, and this post can be found at RVAcrossAmerica.net/ truck 2025, 2025. I'm thinking about it because even though we have a winter storm on our way, and it's going to dump a lot of snow up at the ski hill, this winter of skiing has been a bust for a lot of reasons. And right after this storm, I mean, within 3 or 4 or 5 days, the temperature is going to pop way over freezing. And then we're looking maybe 8 or 9 days from now at temperatures here in Parowan being around 60 degrees for at least 3 or 4 days in a row. And that means the ski hill is just going to melt back, melt back, melt back. So I give up. So let's talk about RVs and trucks and realize that the main post is at rvacrossamerica.net/ truck 2025. By the way, before I get started, just been having a blast the last week or two. A good friend of mine and I have been out exploring this region, and I'm going to have a post about this. This region, Parowan is, and Painted Hills RV Park is a great base camp because there's so much surrounding it. We've been over to the Parowan Gap, which has petroglyphs. We've been over to Kolob Canyon, which is part of Zion National Park, but not the main entrance. And we've been into Zion National Park itself. That was yesterday. And in fact, I'll share some really inspiring video with you right now, and then I'll jump right back.
And the big ugly thing here.
Okay, I'm back. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's much more to come. I'm going to have a lot of RV lifestyle type posts for this region. Before I leave the region, I'll be here for a few more weeks before I travel on. Anyway, is this a good time to buy a truck? And I'm talking about a full-size truck. When I think of a full-size truck, I'm thinking about a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton. And, while there are a lot of details in the post, rvcrossamerica.net/ truck 2025, I'll tell you, when I think about a truck, I think about a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton. Half-ton trucks are fine. However, half-ton trucks can really only pull travel trailers, and there are limits as to what they can pull. And I've got a link within my post that lets you kind of figure out, well, exactly how much truck do I need for the weight of the trailer I'm getting. And I always look at the base weight of the trailer and add a certain amount of weight for water and other fluids and other personal stuff that you're going to carry. I get into all of that in a post that's linked from within this post so you can see those details. This post is about what does the truck and SUV market look like right now? And the short answer is it's kind of a mixed picture. I got motivated to make this post because I've been watching some videos from other YouTubers who are automotive and vehicle specialists. I am not a vehicle specialist. However, I do understand markets and I do understand the economy. And that's why I'm speaking with you now. One of the things that I ran across in my research beyond watching other YouTubers' videos is that car and truck sales are actually up during the last quarter of 2024. There are more people buying, but at the same time, and again, I got all the data over on the post. At the same time, inventories are up time on the lot is up. In other words, for a vehicle to sit on the lot. And I'm talking about new and used vehicles. So those factors, if inventory is up, if I'm a dealer, if I'm a car dealer or a truck dealer and I've got a lot of vehicles sitting on my lot, and if they're sitting there for a longer period of time, and realize that many dealers, most dealers, use what is called flooring. Flooring is essentially a loan from the bank. The bank turns to the dealer and says, "Hey, Mr. Dealer, we'll give you a $5 million line of credit or whatever it is." And you can have up to $5 million worth of cars on your lot. Well, if you want an additional car there beyond your $5 million credit limit, you got to sell one. So longer cars and trucks sit on a dealer lot, the more difficult it is for the dealer to bring in new inventory. And of course, if you're a Ford dealer or a Ram dealer or a Chevy dealer or a GMC dealer, those seem to be the big three. Basically, Chevy, GMC to me are both General Motors. Ford and Ram are two separate companies. So you've got three when you add those up. If you're one of those manufacturers, dealers, they want you to take what they produce. So if you're not moving inventory, you got to move inventory, which means dealers at this point are more pliable. Now, what's working against you is that vehicle sales are up. And again, all the data is at rvcrossamerica.net/truck 2025. And when I say vehicle sales are up, in some cases in the fall of 2024, it was as much as 10%. That may be changing. That may be changing, even though on a national level, there might be more optimism. I'm not sure now that we have a new administration. Um, the reality is the economy is still tough for a lot of people, and inflation is really, really biting at people's ankles, really biting at people's ankles. I guess the poster child for that is eggs. Look at the price of eggs and you can see what's happening to our pocketbook every time we go to the grocery store. Fuel prices are up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the bottom line is this. It's a mixed picture. I think it is a good time because I know that dealers are negotiable. Now, I will caution you, there's a lot of old inventory laying around on dealers' lots. When I say old inventory, I'm talking about brand new vehicles. And I know when people buy a vehicle, if you can, you like to buy a new vehicle. I don't always recommend that. I don't often recommend that with an RV, but people use RVs in the way of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and for that matter, motorhomes differently from the way they use a truck or a car. Most people that buy a truck or car are driving it daily. So I know in my case, when I buy, I like to buy new if I can afford it. Although the truck manufacturers have done a great job of making that less and less affordable. I'm personally a Ford guy. I like the Ford Lariat. The Lariat is the middle to maybe upper middle of the trim packages, and they're well over $80,000 now at the dealer. And even with incentives and low interest rates, et cetera, and those are incentive interest rates. Those are not the background interest rates. The interest rates on vehicles right now is, I believe, about 7% for a new vehicle and about 11% for a used vehicle. But if you buy a new one, very often the manufacturer subsidizes that, and you can get a new vehicle for really as little as close to 0% interest if you qualify. And they're going to have you at a very high credit score in order to qualify. The bottom line is that the trucks have become inordinately expensive if you want a trim package that's got the goodies. And I like the goodies. I also like to have plenty of truck for my trailer. As many of you know, RVCrossAmerica.net, I'm in a fifth wheel that weighs dry about 12,500 pounds. And I've probably got about 2,500 pounds worth of stuff in it. So I need a vehicle which is going to pull really well. And that's why when I'm working with my concierge RV clients, you can reach me to talk to me about my concierge service at 307-269-2546. That's 307-269-2546. Give me a call and I'll talk with you about it. I mean, I'm glad to have a free consultation with you. Um, in my case, I like to have plenty of truck, which means I recommend to most of my clients get a one-ton truck. They're not any more expensive than a three-quarter ton. I think when I bought mine, I have a 2022 Ford. There was maybe $1,000 difference between the one ton 350 and the three-quarter ton 250. And I also recommend diesel. I definitely recommend diesel. I know diesel fuel costs more, but these things get better fuel mileage when they're pulling than a gasser, and they last much, much longer. Now, of course, the downside is when diesel fails, well, that's going to be an expensive repair, which is why, by the way, that later today I'm actually going to pick the phone up and call up one of my favorite Ford dealers and purchase an extended service contract on my truck. Not a great believer in extended service contracts for a lot of things, but again, when diesel fails, it can be expensive. And as I learned with my prior, when the DEF system fails, all the EPA stuff, the DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, when that system fails, that is also very expensive. So I want a company backing me up, and I'm going to go with the Ford plan so that I get Ford authorized service on that. It's just a better, easier plan to work with. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on forever. I want to tell you this. I got a lot of stuff back at the post, including some photos of where we went over the last few days. And again, consider that a coming attraction of what's coming up in some additional posts. I'm about to go into a 7-day stint, followed by a day or two break, followed by another couple of days teaching on the mountain, and then we'll see from there. I think at that point we're going to be into that 60-degree weather down here in Parowan, and I may just call it spring. Anyway, Alan here, rvacrossamerica.net. You have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're seeing this. And hey, there's comments below. You can leave a comment to me. I'd love to hear it. If you have a question, I'd love to hear it. If there's something inaccurate that I've said in this video, or that I put into my written post, please go to the written post and check it out. If there's something inaccurate, because again, I'm not a vehicle specialist, I'm not an expert in vehicles, and I do talk about SUVs a little bit too, because some people are cutting back from a truck to go to an SUV because they are a little less expensive than some of these trucks. And, it may also be comfort and number of people you can fit if you're a young family, whatever, whatever. And those are perfectly fine for some travel trailers, Lincoln Navigator or something along that size, or an Escalade or something like that. Those are vehicles that are very solid, and if you're getting a travel trailer, that would work. Most fifth wheels, and most of the fifth wheels that if you're working with me in my concierge service, I am not going to be recommending an SUV or even a half-ton truck like a Ford 1500 or a Silverado 1500. Not going to be doing it. I'd like to see you in a heavier duty vehicle. I'd like to see you in a vehicle which is not stressing or straining to do that. And again, rvacrossamerica.net/truck 2025, truck 2025. Hey, have a good day. And please go to the post. If you're seeing this on the YouTube video, please leave a comment, share it, like it, whatever. It helps with the algorithm so that YouTube spreads it out to more people. And if you're seeing this on my website, if you'd be kind enough to click on the YouTube button on the video itself, it'll bring you directly to the videos, so on YouTube, and that way you can do exactly the same thing. And again, if you're seeing it on my website, go down below, leave comments. I'd love to hear from you, and that also helps Google to spread the word, and for that matter, Bing and DuckDuckGo and whoever else. Anyway, take care.